Hello guys, and welcome to my 20 slides in 20 seconds. My name is Todd. My category is smoking. As you can see here, we got just your normal everyday stand-up smoker. It consists of a water pan and a box specially made for wood or charcoal. A lot of households use this style of smoker. As you can tell, there's also a temp gauge on top. Here we got the side box smoker, which is a lot better to use in my opinion. You got more space for bigger slabs of meat, which we'll talk about later. And it's just a better overall quality of smoking, but it's lacking in the fact that it doesn't have a water pan. Here we got the Big Green Egg. These are quite popular in the smoking and barbecuing competition field. It's made out of basically ceramics around metal. It holds temperature a lot better considering it's self-insulated. But you gotta spend a lot of money to obtain one of these, anywhere from $600 to $1,000 to buy one. Here we got a box smoker, which uses pellets. This here is most likely what you'd see used in a big time restaurant. You can smoke about 40 slabs of ribs at a time on one that size. And it does a pretty good quality job as far as holding temperature and getting a consistent cook, which you need inside a restaurant. Here, if you're going to do something really big like a whole hog or a lot of briskets or anything of that matter, this here is a must-have. You got to have a huge smoker to do big slabs of meat or to cook for a big crowd. And a trailer smoker is the only way to go for that type of field. Here we got just your normal slab of ribs. When you think barbecue, this here should be about the first thing that comes to your mind. In smoking ribs, you're looking anywhere from 4 to 6 hours. Smoke it for about 3 hours uncovered. About 3 hours into it, cover it up with some aluminum foil. Let it finish. Let it cool before you uncover it. Here we got chicken legs and chicken breast. You smoke those at a fairly high temperature because you want them to cook nice and fast where they don't dry out so much. And you want their internal temperature on that to be about 140 because they'll cook all the way through to 160 due to the heat of the bone. So you don't have to worry about getting sick there. Here you got your pork butt. You'll see that a lot on a pulled pork sandwich. Just kind of really the better cut of pork to use, and better than ribs and things like that. And you'll see that a lot of times in restaurants on nachos, anything with pulled pork. Here we got a brisket. This here is quite popular in the competition field. They take a very, very long time to smoke. You're looking at a 15-pound brisket there. You're talking 12 to 14 hours of smoke time on that at the very minimal. Here we got the whole hog. This here is the best of the best as hard as you can get whole hog. To smoke one of those, you're looking anywhere from 18 to 24 hours depending on your heat. And they just take a lot of time and a lot of patience to get done right. This here is one of the most important aspects of any barbecue, any meat, anything in the world as far as barbecue goes, and that's your rub. Everybody has their own recipes, and some people like different things. Some people like it more hot, some people like it more sweet. Just all personal preference or whatever region you're in. This here's another important tool that we use in barbecuing. It's a meat injector. You can use it to inject marinades or even parts of your rub. I use it a lot to inject apple juice into my cuts of meat to keep them nice and moist throughout the smoking process to avoid them drying out any more than what they already do. Here again you got apple juice. It's your best friend really to keep things moist. You can use it as a mop sauce while cooking or just dump it over whatever you're smoking. It'll keep the outer edges from drying up for you. Here we got the spray bottle. This is another really important piece. We use this to either spray apple juice or anything like that onto the meats, but it also helps maintain temperature. If you're getting too hot as far as your temp goes, just spray some of that on your flames. It will cool it down a lot quicker. Here we got some wood. This wood here is actually cherry, which I like to use, but any hardwood works best. The harder it is, the better almost, because it's harder, it holds a hotter temperature, it burns longer, and that is a must-have if you're going to get into this type of field. Here we got lump charcoal. It's a lot better than the briquettes that you buy from Kingsford or anything in that matter. Again, it's made of hardwood such as oak, hickory, things like that. You've got to have that. Don't use the Kingsford because it won't burn as hot, it won't burn as long. Temperatures will be inconsistent. Do not use this. Don't do it. You will ruin your food every time. Lighter fluid? No. Just don't put it on nothing. Not recommend it. It will ruin your food. You'll get a citrus flavor. Just plain and simple, don't use that stuff. This here is another must-have. This here's a chimney starter. Throw your coalettes in there, or your lump charcoal, your wood, whatever you're going to use. Set it ablaze until you get a nice glow at the top. You're ready to go. No need to use lighter fluid, so you avoid that process altogether. This here, your best friend. If you don't use this, you will not get a good cook. You got to pay attention to that at all times. If you're going to do a pulled pork, you want it around 250, maybe 300, depends on how big it is. Whole hog, you're looking at about 2 to the 225 range. Aluminum foil, another thing that you got to know when to use and how to use it. I use it a lot to wrap my ribs in, or just wrap up a pork butt. When you start getting close to finish, I'll keep it from drying out any more than it already has, and let that meat finish cooking nice and good.